Welcome everyone to the Stalwart Initiative. I'm Kyle, and today we're going to be going over part 2. This is going to be part 2 of our coverage on the available player races in the Alien Archive book for Starfinder. Okay, and today we're going to pick up right where we left off last week. Last time we did the first 11 available races, and this time we're going to do the remaining 11 races. So let's jump right into it. The next race is the Meraki. The Meraki is kind of like a monkey, your mythical monkey race. Although their ability adjustments and stuff are a little strange. So let's go right under the hood and check it out. So the Meraki get a +2 to Con and +2 to Wisdom, and a -2 to Dex for their ability adjustments. So there is no class that has their favored ability as being Constitution. So this kind of steers them towards. I mean, on the surface, it steers them towards Mystics, which is for their Wisdom. That's the only thing that they would really be specializing in offensively. But so they're a little bit tanky, and the Wisdom's good for their will saves. -2 to Dex kind of threw me off. You think monkey humanoid type people would be dexterous, but not so much. They do get 5 hit points, which I believe is the first 5 hit points I've seen. It's an unusual number. Usually it's 2, 4, 6. But they get 5 hit points. They are medium humanoids with the Meraki subtype. Their first ability is Blind Sense. They sense sound through their skin rather than their ears, gaining Blind Sense through sound with a range of 30 feet. Blind Sense, always good, always nice. Sound is a pretty good method of it as well. 30 feet, nice. Okay, that's decent. Their second ability is Climber. Meraki have a climb speed of 20 feet. Climb speeds can be fantastic. Especially if your fly speed for some reason is inaccessible, then climb speeds are great. They also have low light vision. They can see twice as far as humans in conditions of dim light. Good, okay, good. We have a lot of races with dark vision, which is superior, but hey, it's low light vision's better than the humans got, so very nice. They also have ability Natural Hunter, which gives them a +2 racial bonus to their survival skill checks. So, okay, that's nice. They're adapt to survive in the wild. They can do some tracking. That's cool. Okay, not that great, but okay. Their last ability is their Prehensile Tail. A Meraki's tail is as effective as a hand at manipulating objects, which allows them to wield and hold up to 3 hands worth of weapons and equipment. This does not increase the number of attacks they can make during combat. So we already have a 4-armed race in the core rulebook, and now the Meraki can manipulate 3 hands worth of equipment/weapons. So that's a nice extra thing to have. I think it's more thematic than anything. Just manipulating things with your tail just sounds kind of cool. But as you'll see, we have 2 more races that have at least 4 arms. So, yeah, not really an edge over much there in that department. So, in my opinion, the Meraki as a player race, okay. For min-maxing purposes, yeah, they don't seem intensely good in one area, but they do seem kind of well-rounded. I'd say the race is okay. Okay, next up, let's move on to the Noir, or Space Minotaur, as it's kind of looking like. I don't know, kind of torn on the art. In a way, it looks cool, but the face just kind of looks like he's pooping. Not sure. But well, let's take a look at the stats here real quick. Okay, the Noir, or Noir. We'll go with Noir. Okay, their ability adjustments for the Noir are +2 to Strength, +2 to Intelligence, -2 to Dex. Okay. So between a soldier or Solarian and a necromancer or mechanic, as far as stats wise. So again, for me, it's not screaming we're completely great in one area. Kind of seem maybe well rounded. So let's take a look further. They get six hit points, which is good. Very nice, little tanky, good. Noirs are medium monstrous humanoids. So unlike the current trend in stuff like D&D, where they're now large, in this they are medium monstrous humanoids. They also have dark vision, out to 60 feet. Good, love dark vision. Their first active ability, I guess you'd call it, is Gore. And this version of Gore is a Nor can charge without taking... oops. Sorry about that. Without taking the normal charge penalties to the attack roll or its AC. If the Noir has another ability that allows it to charge without taking these penalties, such as the charge attack ability from the Soldier's Blitz attack, the fighting style, the Noir also gains the ability to charge through difficult terrain. So if it buffs your charge, or actually takes away the negative effects of your regular charge action, and also if you already have it buffed, then it allows you to go through difficult terrain with no problem. So that's nice. I like it. They give you that little buffer of, okay, if you already have this, we'll give you a little something extra. So that's nice. Their next racial ability is Maze Mind. So this version of Maze Mind, Minotaur, okay, that's through other different RPGs as well. So Noir have the naturally strong sense of direction and an instinctive understanding of complex patterns. As a result, they very rarely get lost. A Noir can attempt a special level-based wisdom check, a 1d20 plus CR or level, if you're a player character, plus your wisdom bonus, instead of using his total bonus in the piloting skill to navigate, or his total bonus in the survival skill for orienteering. I have never said that word before in my life. Orienteering. Simply stunning. Okay, their last ability... Oh, no, not their last. Their next ability is natural weapons. And much as we covered with the Forian, it's pretty much the same thing. Noirs are always considered armed. They can deal a 1d3 lethal piercing damage with unarmed strikes, and the attack doesn't count as archaic. Noirs gain a unique weapon specialization with their natural weapons at 3rd level, allowing them to add 1.5 times their character level to their damage rolls with their natural weapons, instead of just adding their character level as usual. Their last ability is Swift. Noirs have a base movement speed of 40 feet. So I was impressed to see that the goblins had 35 feet, and the Noirs surpassed them with 40-foot movement speed. It's pretty nice. I like that. Very nice. Not anything flashy, but 40 foot of movement, 10 extra feet beyond the standard movement speed is fantastic. Okay, next we have the Reptoids, because more reptile-like races is always called for in space. I don't know. Let's check it out. Okay, the ability adjustments for the Reptoids are +2 to Strength, +2 to Charisma, and -2 to Dex. Man, Dex is really getting hit in this. Trying to take it out of that master status. So +2 to Strength really threw me off. Usually these smaller reptile-like races don't get it to Strength. Usually they get it to Dex. Not these guys either. So they also get 5 hit points, and they are medium humanoids with the reptile and shapeshifter subtypes. Kind of interesting. So their first ability, which we'll touch on that shapeshifter, is called Change Shape. Once per day, a Reptoid can assume the appearance of a specific single medium humanoid. The Reptoid always takes this specific form when using this ability. The Reptoid can gains a +10 racial bonus to disguise checks to appear as that type of humanoid. Okay, good. Very nice. Nice hefty buff to your disguise checks. This ability otherwise functions as per the disguise self spell and lasts for 10 minutes times the Reptoid's character level. Okay, that's decent. A Reptoid can select a new humanoid form by spending 1 week preparing for the change, but can then no longer assume the previous form. I like that. I like that a lot. Thematically and also mechanically. So it's 10 minutes times your character level, which can start out small and be larger. So you're on a timetable, but it's not excruciating like 1 minute or 10 minutes flat. So that's good. It's flexible. And spending a week preparing for it, that's good. It's kind of like preparing your body for a great change. And I like it. Let's move on to the next ability. The next ability is Cold-Blooded. Reptoids receive a +2 racial bonus on saving throws against mind-affecting effects and poisons. Okay, that's decent, especially with the poisons. Yeah, +2 bonus. Okay, that's average, nice to have. They also get low light vision. They can see in dim light as if it were normal light. Just flat out, period. Okay, good. Improved vision, not dark vision, but still good to have. They also receive natural weapons. They are considered to be armed when they are not using the change shape ability. So once they change their shape into the other humanoid, they lose their natural weapons for that time period. They can deal a 1d3 lethal slashing damage instead of piercing, as with the Nors, with their unarmed strikes, and the attack does not count as archaic. Reptoids gain a unique weapon specialization with their natural weapons at 3rd level, allowing them to, as with the others, add 1.5 times their character level to their damage rolls for their natural weapons, instead of just adding the character level. Okay, and that is it for the Reptoids. I like them, especially like that the RP implications that the change shape can bring up. I would like to use them for an operative just for that sole purpose. Although, I mean, the +2 to charisma would help for your RP portion of an operative if you're playing an intrigue campaign or something. But strength, you're probably going to be using operative style weapons, which are based off dex. Okay, you can still use them as soldiers and just play it out that way, or Solarians, because they get that +2 to charisma. Or you can do it for whatever you want, which is what I like, not going off typecast builds. So next up is the Riforians. So the Riforians are the ones mentioned earlier in the section for the Dragonkin, which these were the typical race that the Dragonkin would use their bonding ability with. Great ability. Love the Dragonkin. So let's take a look at the Riforians as a race. They get, for their ability adjustments, they get a +2 to Con and a +2 to Wisdom. They get a -2 to Strength. So they're hardy but not strong. Okay. They get 4 hit points, so middle of the road there. And Riforians are medium humanoids with the Riforian subtype. Self-explanatory. They get a bonus feat at level 1. That is nice to have. Feats in Starfinder are plentiful, and a lot of them are good, very good, and very useful. So a bonus feat at level 1, always handy. They also get keen senses. Riforians' distinctive ears help them to hear precisely, granting a +2 bonus to perception checks. Okay, +2 perception checks are, all over the place. And +2 that, well, you'll get some mileage out of that. But +2, +4 tends to wow me a little more than +2s. But hey, any bonus is a good bonus. So they also get low light vision, so they can see dim light as if it were normal light, or see in dim light as if you were in normal light. I do like this. So their last ability is trimorphic. So there are 3 types of Riforians. There are Summerborn Rhyphorians, and they gain a fire resistance of 5. And there are Winterborn Rhyphorians. They gain a cold resistance of 5. And then there are Transitional Rhyphorians, and they gain a cold and fire resistance of 2. Resistance of 5. Early levels, as Dawn and I talked about in part 1 of this series, it can be pretty good, pretty damn good in lower levels. It carries through the whole game, but especially effective in lower levels. So, and with the transitional, you can have 2 resistance 2 for each type. So that's nice. And when in conditions of severe cold or heat, when they have to attempt a fortitude save, they only have to do it once per hour instead of once per every 10 minutes. So that's nice, especially if you're doing survival missions and stuff. A Rhyphorian can stack this natural resistance that they gain with one other form of resistance. So that's great. You get your cold resistance through your race, and you can also get it, say, through your class or through Solarian armor, stuff like that. Okay. So let's move on to the Sarcesian. Weird space elf angels. Okay, let's take a look. The ability adjustments for the Sarcesian are +2 to Dex, +2 to Charisma, and -2 to Strength. So, kind of popping out as Operative, Envoy. Mostly with the -2 to Strength, I wouldn't say Solarian so much, but you can go Solarian with ranged weapons. They get 4 hit points, so middle of the road there. They get 4 hit points, but they are large humanoids with the Sarcesian subtype and a space and reach of 10 feet. So, okay, a melee operative build would be okay for this. Although they're not like really hitting you good with hit points. You got a -2 to Strength, so you're kind of pigeonholed into operative weapons. So, okay, that's okay. They get low light vision, so they can see in dim light as if it were normal light. They are skilled, which means they gain an additional skill rank at first level and each level thereafter. So, okay, an additional rank every level, that's useful. And their last ability is Void Flyer. Sarcesian can go 1 hour without breathing and can exist in a vacuum without suffering the associated environmental effects. When in a vacuum, they automatically grow wings made from pure energy that grant them a supernatural fly speed of 60 feet. And they have average maneuverability with their fly speed. But the wings and the flight only work while you're in a vacuum. So, great in space, but once you get into an atmosphere, once you're in a ship, not so useful. And there's not a whole lot. I mean, you're skilled. That's about it. I mean, there's not a whole lot to offer other than the wings that are only situational. So I'm not really feeling the Sarcesians. Let's move on here. I guess it's considered Showbad, which looks like the large. Are they large? I think they're the. Yeah, let's take a look here. I guess the right page would have been nice, huh? Okay. Yes, they are large. Showbads are a large, monstrous humanoids with a space and reach of 10 feet. So this is one of the other 2 races I mentioned that have at least 4 arms. So they do have 4 arms. Their first ability... let's backtrack to ability adjustments. They get a +4 to Strength and -2 to Intelligence. And they get 6 hit points. So, beefy. Boom. Straight up front. +4 to Strength. We're gonna front end load that Strength. -2 to Intelligence. It makes sense. You're a big, beefy, slightly dumb race. You have 6 hit points, so good. You're a little hardier. They're large. Reach of 10 feet. I'm thinking just slugfest with these guys. Very good. They have dark vision out to 60 feet. They are 4-armed. So they have 4-armed, which, like others, allows them to wield and hold up to 4 arms worth of weapons and equipment. While this increases the number of items that you can have at the ready, it does not increase the number of attacks that showbolts can make during combat. Standard. Showbolt Ferocity. Once per day, a showbad brought to 0 hit points but not killed can fight on for one more round. The showbad drops to 0 hit points and is dying, following the normal rules then, but can act normally until the end of her next turn, when she becomes unconscious as normal. If she would lose any additional hit points before this, she ceases to be able to act and falls unconscious. So basically it gives them an extra turn to be up, to be up on any action, as long as they don't get hit again. So they go down, they pop back up, do what they can for that last turn, that last little bit of fortitude they have, and then they knock unconscious again. So it's nice. That's nice to have. You're only going to use it when you go down, so situational. They also have the swift. They also have the swift ability, so they have a base movement speed of 40. That's nice. It must be from their long gait, because they don't look very agile, dexterous, and fast. So their last ability is Weathered. Showbads have cold resistance 5, which stacks with one other source of cold resistance. So, like the Rythorians, it's nice. 5 cold resistance. Okay, that's cool. So Showbads as a race, they don't give you a whole lot as far as nifty abilities. I mean, the ferocity thing is nice if you're going down. It's not quite as good as like the orcs thing in D&D 5e, where you just come back up. But it's nice. 40 movement speed, great. 5 cold resistance, good. And forearms, nice. So well-rounded. I would say the Showbat are well-rounded, and it looks like they know who they are and what they do, and they stick to it. And I think if that's what you're looking for, then good. Very reliable race. So, okay. Next up, we are looking at the cute little Skitter Mandors. So I picked this picture because a lot of these come with 2 pictures, and I picked this one because it has that ugly, disgusting face, neck, weird thing protruding from their stomach, which most of the other pictures don't depict. They look all cute and cuddly in all the other pictures, and I thought having this nasty little thing coming out of their bellies would be good to show, so you know what you're buying into. So these little guys have 6 arms, which is the other 4-armed race. I did mention 4 or more. So let's take a look under the hood for them. So they get a +2 to Dex, a +2 to Charisma, because they're so damn cute, and -2 to Intelligence. They get 2 hit points, and they are small humanoids with the Skitter Mandor subtype. So it all makes sense right there. They're dexterous, they're charismatic because they're cute little guys. They're not that intelligent, and they only have 2 hit points. They're really tiny. They are small size. It all makes sense. Their first ability is Grappler. They get a +2 racial bonus to the grapple combat maneuvers. Okay, I like it. I don't know if that's more driven towards their 6 arms or the fact of that nasty looking maul popping out of their stomach that they would maybe leech onto somebody with. I don't know. It's cool. Racial bonus to the grapple combat maneuvers. It's nice. Nice to have. Their second ability, which I thought had so much potential, is called Hyper. And let's scroll up and take a look here. So once per day, a Skitter Mandor can take an extra move action. Nice. I like it. Nice. I think it should be more than once per day, though. I would think. Once per day seems a little underwhelming. I think they could use it, one time for every, compared to their Dex modifier or something like that. But, maybe that's too much too. I don't know. I'd like to see more of it, because it is kind of their defining thing here. But I like it. Yeah, extra move action is great. So their next ability is Low Light Vision. Skitter Mandor can see in dim light as if it were normal light. Boom. So we're starting to taper off away from the vast amount of dark vision, and a lot of things are getting low light vision. And that's okay too. They are 6-armed. Skitter Mandors have 6 arms, which allows them to wield and hold up to 6 hands worth of weapons and equipment. While their multiple arms increase the number of items they can have at the ready, it doesn't increase the number of attacks they can make during combat. So cute. 6 arms. So cute. Okay, let's see what is up next. Oh, it's a little ways down. So... okay, next up we have... kind of torn on this one. The Urog. We'll call it Urog. The Urog is another strange race. Let's take a look at it here. The ability adjustments are +2 to Constitution, +2 to Intelligence, and -2 to Charisma. They get 6 hit points, so bring on the beef. And they are large magical beasts with a space of 10 feet and a reach of 5 feet. Kind of underwhelming. So they get they're the extra size, but they don't get the perk of the 10-foot reach. I understand it by looking at the picture. Okay, I can see they're not real long and stuff. They do get the 6 hit points to make them beefier, the +2 to con to make them beefier. They seem somewhat intelligent. Let's keep reading. Their first ability is Blunt. Urogs are matter-of-fact creatures who value frankness and getting to the heart of a matter far more than protecting the feelings of others. Urogs take a -2 penalty to bluff and diplomacy checks. So not only do they have a -2 to charisma for their ability adjustments, they get a -2 penalty to bluff and diplomacy. That sucks. Let's see if something, comes along to counteract the negatives. So next one is electrical resistance. Urogs have electricity resistance 5, which stacks with one other source of electricity resistance. That's nice. That's the first I've seen electricity resistance, and electricity damage does come up. I've seen it come up several times. So that can be useful. But, I mean, we've already found other ones that have cold, fire, sonic resistance. So, okay. Next ability is electrolocation. And let's take a look at this. So an Urog, who is in contact with a crystalline or metallic surface, can detect the presence of other creatures within 60 feet that are also in contact with the same surface, even through walls and other obstacles. This otherwise functions as blind sense, vision blind sense. That is incredibly useful, especially if you're doing a lot of stuff in ships. Although it's large and this thing maneuvering through ships wouldn't be that great, but crystalline and metallic surfaces can pop up a lot. A very nice ability, and it kind of gives it its own little flavor. But let's keep going before give it too much praise. The next ability is limited telepathy. Urogs can communicate telepathically with any creature within 30 feet with whom they share a language. So, telepathy. Nice to have. Good. Okay. That's good. Instead of having to listen to this thing, I don't know what its language would be or what it would sound like when it spoke, when it spoke common, but saving yourself the trouble and using telepathy would be nice. A lot of races have it. So, okay. Low light vision, they can see in dim light as if it were normal light. Okay, starting to be almost a standard here. Their next ability is plodding. They have a base movement speed of 20 feet. What? Okay. Let's keep going. So, yeah, we'll recap then. So they're skilled. They gain, their last ability is skilled. They gain an additional skill rank at first level in each level thereafter. So, my opinions of the Urog, I will never play one. If you want to, because it looks cool, or that's your thing, that's great. But, I mean, they're large. They only have the 5-foot reach. They have a movement speed of 20 feet. They have minuses to bluff and diplomacy. and they make up for it in electrolocation is really their greatest thing. The electrical resistance is nice too, but they don't. It doesn't seem to be enough of a draw for me. So, Urog, yeah. Onward we go. Okay, next is the Vert Annie. Yeah, I believe that's probably how that's pronounced. Oh, the Vert Annie. So, the Vert Annie get a ability adjustment of +2 to Constitution, +2 to Intelligence, and -2 to Strength. They get 4 hit points, and they are medium humanoids with the Vert Annie subtype. So these guys are kind of human-looking, although they can change the colors of their skin and stuff, and they're addicted to augmentations and whatnot. So let's take a look here. Their first ability is easily augmented. Vert Annie have spent a long time implanting devices into their bodies. A Vert Annie can install an additional augmentation, cybernetics only, into one system that already has an augmentation. So that's nice, an extra augmentation. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. They can come in handy. They get low light vision, so they can see twice as far as humans in conditions of dim light. They have the skill focus, so Vert Annie are highly skilled, though individually they tend to focus on a particular discipline. So Vert Annie gain skill focus as a bonus feat. So, good for them. Skill focus is nice. And their last ability is Skin Mimic. Let's take a look at Skin Mimic. Skin Mimic. Vert Annie can manipulate the pigments in their skin at will, and with astonishing precision, creating bright decorative patterns or deceptive camouflage. It sounds very alluring. Okay, cool. Very cool. Body paint. Very cool. A Vert Annie who stays stationary for 1 round gains a +10 racial bonus to stealth checks. This bonus doesn't stack with the invisibility spell or similar effects. If the Vert Annie takes any action, he loses this bonus until he once again spends 1 round remaining still. This is great. It's camouflage. It's a chameleon. The Vert Annie are chameleons. This, in theory, is great. Great ability. I like it. It's thematic and it's effective. Now, the only thing is the last bit of text with that ability. A Vert Annie wearing clothes or armor that covers more than 1/4 of his body can't use this ability. That kills it there. That kills it. So covers more than 1/4 of their body. That's what? You can't wear anything but shorts or a pair of pants maybe, and that's it. All right. Okay. That kind of kills it for me, but I do like it thematically. I do like it. So if I ever want to do, space battling in speedos, then yeah, I'm going in as Vert Annie. So okay. Final thoughts. That kind of kills it for me, but they do look like perfect setup for a mechanic. I think they'd make a great mechanic. Con, intelligence. I think they'd be good. But yeah, that one little thing did it for me. So next up is okay, the witch word. Which weird? They are weird. Witch word. So the witch word. Oh, if I get on the right page here, the witch word gets +2 to charisma, +2 to intelligence, and -2 to constitution. They get 4 hit points. Witch words are medium monstrous humanoids. Okay. Witch words are a little confusing as well. So their first ability is Absorb Force. So Absorb Force, as a reaction, a witch word can use a number of its free hands to catch magic missiles from the spell of the same name fired at it. Doing so absorbs the missiles and manifests as a glowing nimbus around that hand, which is no longer considered free once they catch the magic missiles in one of these 4 hands. The energy lasts 6 rounds, or until it is used to create an additional force bolt. To use this ability, the Witchword must be aware of the incoming magic missile and cannot be flat-footed. Okay. So, they can catch magic missiles. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. If you're fighting spellcasters, that's cool. Yeah, there's two magic casters in this game. Or 2 classes, anyway. And I know there's a lot more foes that would cast magic missile than maybe in your party, but okay, so anyway, let's go a little bit deeper into that. So it said about the force bolt. So they catch it, and it seems as though they catch it and it becomes this force bolt. So what can you do with it when you catch these magic missiles? So as a standard action, a Witchword can throw a magic missile, as per the spell, the same name, 1d4 plus 1 force damage for each free hand or hand that has absorbed a magic missile with the absorbed force ability, to a maximum of 2 missiles per round. The Witchword can throw an additional force bolt for each hand that has absorbed a magic missile. And again, a maximum of 2 additional bolts per round. So it can have all 4 bolts. It can have, magic missile and force bolts and filling up its hands. Boom. It's full when it does a full volley of 4 shots. And it would be expending the absorbed energy. So, okay. Basically, in a nutshell, you can catch magic missiles and throw them back. Or throw them at somebody else. Useful. Once in a great while. Depending on your DM, depending on your campaign. So, dark vision. Witchwords have dark vision with a range of 60 feet. Standard dark vision, very nice. Yeah. So, the actual force bolt ability thing here, I read it as part of its description up there. The actual force ability. Our force bolt ability down here says that you can cast magic missile as a spell-like ability once per day. For every 2 magic missiles caught using the absorb force ability, a Witchword can use its force bolt ability an additional time per day. So basically, you can use your force bolt automatically. You don't have to catch them the first time, but after that, you have to keep catching them. So, okay, that's cool. So basically, it lets you stock up on it as well. That's cool. Let's see. 4-armed. Witchwords have 4 arms, and it's the standard 4-arm thing. So they can carry up to 4 arms worth of equipment and weapons, have them at the ready, but they don't get extra attacks from it. So Haggler, their last ability is Haggler. Witchwords are known as skilled traders and negotiators throughout the galaxy and the planes. They receive a +2 racial bonus to bluff and diplomacy checks. So, okay, that's nice. Little bonus to bluff and diplomacy. That's nice. So, if you're planning on facing a lot of technomancers, if you're doing a whole campaign on spellcasters, Witchwords will probably be pretty useful. If you're not, then probably very situational. It's up to you. Or you can just play them for fun. You know, you don't need to min-max everything now. So, moving on from Witchwords, our last race, and a decent one to end up on, in my opinion, is the Ricci. I know, it doesn't look like much. It looks like, what was that movie? Project 9? No. District 9? District 9. I think it was District 9. I could be wrong. You can correct me. So the Ricci is a medium monstrous humanoid with the aquatic subtype. And for racial ability adjustments, +2 to con, +2 to intelligence, and -2 to dex. They get 4 hit points. So middle of the road there, con and intelligence. Yeah, leaning towards technomancer or mechanic in those regards, but I say you can play anything. Okay, they are amphibious. They are able to breathe both water and air normally, which could come very useful in certain campaigns. They are cooperative. They have the cooperative ability. Let's check that out. Riccis spend much of their lives in close contact with one another, learning to predict their neighbors' reactions and coordinate their actions. A Ricci gains a +2 bonus to skill checks for the aid another action and to attack rolls to provide harrying fire. A creature using the aid another action to assist a Ricci skill check gains a +2 bonus to her check. So, a bonus to help others and a bonus for them to help you. That's good. Very nice. And you also get what was that? You also get the bonus for harrying fire, which could come in very handy in battle. So, cooperative, decent and thematic to the way they live ability. So next is dark vision. They can see in darkness, range 60 feet. Okay, cool. Dark vision. Sheltering. That's another one of their specific abilities. So a Ricci instinctively knows how to exploit sources of cover. When a Ricci is benefiting from partial cover, or improved cover, the granted bonus to its AC and reflex saves increases by 1. I like this. I like it. It's not overpowering. It's not like they're adding a crapload of AC or buffing your reflex saves a lot. But an additional 1 on top of what you're already getting is going to be nice. And once in a while, it's going to be that difference. It's going to be that difference that saves you. So, good. Good. A nice bonus. Just a well-rounded nice bonus. They also get another specific ability, Snag. So you see all those little nice little spikies underneath their arms? I think this is where that comes into play. So thanks to the feathery material lining its forelimbs, a Ricci is adept at grabbing small prey. A Ricci gains a +4 bonus to attack rolls when attempting to grapple a creature smaller than itself. As a full action, a Ricci can make 2 attempts to grapple a creature with a -4 penalty to the attack rolls. So you're essentially doing a full round action instead of doing 2 normal attacks. 2 normal attacks, you're doing 2 grapple attempts with a -4 penalty to both. So, yeah, I think that's cool. I think it's cool. Especially, unfortunately, it's for smaller creatures, but it could still come in handy. It would be great if you could do it for larger creatures as well. So yeah, Ricci. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one more thing. Wow, slacking. Sorry, it's late for me. I just got off work. So Ricci movement. A Ricci has a base movement speed of 20 feet and a swim speed of 30 feet. So 30 feet swim speed, great to have. Yeah, great addition. A base movement speed of 20 feet, that sucks. That really sucks. I'd prefer it better if it was 25, but and I mean that's not as big of a ding. 20 feet, that can really put a hinder on you. So, Ricci as a whole, I like it. It's got a lot of unique abilities, and it's pretty well rounded, except for that movement speed ability. 20-foot movement speed. But other than that, I like it. It's decent. So, yeah. Hey guys, thanks everybody for sticking it out with me and joining me on finishing the review of the Alien Archive book. I really enjoyed the Alien Archive book, and this has been a list of all the player races available in the book. The book has many other creatures in it, and also several items and NPC stuff in the back, and there are graphs and stuff back there to help you to help GMs create their own creatures and stuff. So very useful book, and I would love to have the hardcover, but at the price point of $10 for the PDF, I am thoroughly pleased and feel that I've already gotten my money's worth out of it. So yeah, check it out and have a good time. So if you want to see these races in action, next month we're going to be starting a Starfinder campaign, and I believe we might also be doing Starfinder one-shots using, trying to explore all these additions to the races. So per one-shot, we might have one person from each person in the party have a different race from Alien Archive book, or from another specific book, maybe a third party book. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and until next time, see you guys.